Now, I get it. I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, dividing uploaded. This means he's off hiatus and we'll go back to uploading every other day, right? Well, no, at least not yet. It is true that I moved into college and settled in, but the hiatus isn't fully over yet because classes haven't technically started. So we'll see what happens once that gets introduced. However, I thought it was worth making a quick video about the biggest news in the Overwatch League free agency so far. Fissure, the former main tank of the LA Gladiators, leaving the team in order to join the Seoul Dynasty. For those of you counting at home, this is the third team Fissure has been a part of, which is impressive for a league with just 12 teams right now. So I decided to do what a lot of people do when a move like this happens and list the biggest winners and losers, in my opinion, as a result of this transfer. Without wasting any more time, let's get started. So my first winner, without a doubt, has to be Fissure himself. I mean, Slasher can toot his own horn all he wants because he was right. Fissure got exactly what he wanted, which was a spot at the Seoul Dynasty and the chance to play alongside former Lunatic High members who are still legendary despite their underwhelming Season 1 performance. Fissure will no longer have to worry about learning a new language, which was a huge issue on the Gladiators, even with Bishu doing live translations. It's really a great fit, especially when we take into consideration that there isn't much of a chance that Fissure ends up on the bench. Which takes me into my biggest losers of the trade. This of course goes to the Seoul Dynasty main tanks Miro and Kuki. I'm actually kind of sad saying this, as Miro at least falls into that legendary status due to his days at Lunatic High, but especially near the end of the season, it was clear that main tank was one of the weakest spots on a Seoul Dynasty roster that was struggling as a whole. When your team is in a position where they legitimately think Jaehong is the best option at main tank, well, there's a problem. You don't get a player like Fissure to put him on the bench. This means that not only will these two players see their stage time all but vanish, one of them will almost definitely be released from the team. And the fact that I can't say for certain which one will be released is honestly concerning to me. But on a positive note, let's talk about Panker, my second biggest winner. Now, I like iRemix, and I think he did okay in the playoffs against the Spitfire. However, if you legitimately think he's the long-term answer on main tank, you don't know about Panker, the main tank superstar on Gladiators Legion, their tier 2 team. Known as one of the best main tanks in all of Contenders, Panker can play all three main tanks at an Overwatch League level, and even showed a good Hammond in the Contenders playoffs. The only thing stopping this guy from getting a starting spot in the LA Gladiators in Season 2 was Fissure. And now that he's gone, I would be shocked if we didn't see Panker on the stage in the white and purple in Season 2. If we don't, we will definitely be seeing him somewhere. However, this brings me to my final loser of this trade, and it's something that I'm not sure that everyone will agree with, but just hear me out, okay? My second loser of this trade is going to be Deepay, the head coach of the LA Gladiators. Look, the second Fissure became a part of the Gladiators, he became a fan favorite and an MVP candidate. When you can't retain that player on your team for even a full season, what's going on here? Why did Fissure want to leave? These are the questions swirling around everyone's heads, and it begins to reflect poorly on the organization as a whole, even if there was no serious rift between Fissure and the rest of the team. The Gladiators had a good thing going with Fissure, a team that many thought were the second best in the league going into the playoffs. This is why Deepay better pray that Panker ends up panning out and the team doesn't revert back to its season stage 1 form, or else his moderately warm seat will turn blisteringly hot due to him losing his MVP candidate player. And that's all for me. Now it's your turn. Do you think the transfer was a good idea? Who do you think were the biggest winners and losers? Let me know in the comments, and until next time, don't get tilted. Peace nut.